Hey, we're live. Thank you so much, Kay, for your messages. It's great to see people there already. Many thanks for coming along. Another week, another fold. I think, is it 9 or 10 folds? I'm almost losing count now. But I think this will be a really nice one. I'm really excited about bringing you this. Make your own ninja star. These things throw very well. They kind of whiz around. And it's a traditional fold from what I understand. So something that children have enjoyed over many years, but is great as an adult as well. I would thoroughly recommend this for your well-being. It will make you feel so much better. So it's a sort of a piece of modular origami as well, where different pieces fit together. So it'll be a nice introduction to that. So although it looks like it's 4 pieces, it's actually 2 pieces that interlock. And just to show you, so Kay's saying that she's got some nice coloured paper and it looks really cool. You can see how they plug in together. So I'll try and think about which side is which, but basically we'll keep the coloured. If you have coloured paper, then we'll keep that on the outside. Otherwise, I do actually recommend doing it out of just normal white paper, because you can actually add your own marks. I think they look really cool. Hello, Stephen. I think it looks really cool actually to add the marks. I saw one of my daughter's friends actually had made one of these and she added these marks on it. I thought it looked really good. So I've been experimenting a bit, different ways you can colour them. They also, the sort of final fold where you tuck one into the other means that there is a sort of a little gap there and there. So you could actually put a little piece of string or cotton and then hang them up. So I thought actually the ones I've made, I'll string them up. I think they'll look really nice as decorations as well as throwing them around. I've got some other cool papers. Last year, believe it or not, last Easter, I was in Korea. And this is some Korean papers that I brought back. I know the British Origami Society uses lots of Korean papers, and I saw that there. And this metallic paper is rather nice for it. I did try one of these out. My partner wasn't too happy. It does hurt a bit, actually, if you throw these. So they are like ninja stars. This is a really tiny one. I thought there's good jewelry potential in this as well, actually. It looked kind of nice to wear. So you could have a little experiment. So again, I will guide you through each of the steps. I'm talking just for a few minutes because often it takes people a little few minutes to arrive. It'd be good if we can catch you together. So I'm offering origami as hopefully a nice, beautiful tool for us to be together. And I think doing something physical together, I think that makes us feel a lot more connected. Otherwise it's quite passive, isn't it? A computer. I think if you're actually doing something and we're trying to do things, oh, hello, folding things. We're trying to do things together at the same time. I think there's a real feeling of connection then. And actually, I've learnt most of the origami that I do, I've learnt mostly through YouTube. I found it a really good way of learning. If you found diagrams confusing, this is a good way to learn. But plus, I think it's important for us to see each other and to feel close. And there's something very relaxing, I think, about seeing someone's hands. So I've been making this kind of big effort because actually I normally work on the wards at UCH, a hospital, and I normally offer actually this kind of thing. So funded by their hospital charity, 1 day a week, I go and encourage people to get creative. Patients, they can have uncertainty, pain, boredom, a lot of anxiety. So I offer origami, which was actually taught to me from a patient as a really beautiful way, focusing the mind, making something amazing that they can share and celebrate and find what's possible. And actually all you need is paper and a bit of concentration, which often starts to lack. And I think even, I don't know if you found that, but during this period of time, it can be harder to focus actually, because things are so unstructured. To do something really structured, I think really helps us. It's a really valuable tool. So this is kind of dedicated to my colleagues in hospital, encouraging them some self-care during their free time, what little they have of it, and also very much to support everybody else. I am like you, I'm also in isolation. I don't really like it, so I really miss people. So this is a way I'm trying to reach out and encourage and inspire you at this time. And I may have to learn lots of new origami, because it's a fold a week, but so far going strong. So I'm gonna, in a moment, take the computer around and I want you to grab 2 pieces of paper, but you could just take the 1 piece of paper, fold it in half and make 2 squares from that. But I'm gonna show it to you fairly big, so I make one this size because it's a bit easier to demonstrate. And I'll think about which side is which. I'll try and explain. Right, I'm going to grab my board. Something to press on is a good idea. And some paper. Right, and I'll just show you with A4, since I thought that's something everyone has at home. So grab your paper. So actually, just to give you a little overview, these things, they sort of have this symmetry, and it's almost like you're making two mirror image pieces that slot together. So we'll actually make two at the same time. Lots of you may have made this. If you're origamists, you may have made this before, I'm sure. But there's also real comfort in doing things that you've done before. And it's amazing that the same kind of folded piece there's actually quite a few different ways of doing the same thing. And it's really interesting that maybe the decorating could be something different as well. So I'm going to direct this down. Here we go. So I'm going to, first of all, make a square. Take your corner and bring it over. So, okay, if you've got the coloured paper, then maybe keep this colour on the outside. I think that will work. Yeah. Sometimes you have to really think it through, but I think that that's correct in this case. I hope it is. There we go. So just as always, I've been very nice and exact. Good strong folds. That's all you need to do. And turn it to the back. You're welcome, Kay. And then this rectangle we're going to get rid of. And obviously, if you've already got square, your origami paper, it sounds like some of you have decided, yes, I'm enjoying this. It's nice to use some good paper. You can do that. So you can just sit back and relax, can't you? So getting rid of this. And in a second, I'm going to have to do another square as well. There we go. There's one. Put that aside. Hello, someone else has joined. Welcome. All we're doing at the moment is making two squares. So again, I'm going to take the corner, bring it up. I've deliberately not pre-prepared things, so I'm making it along with you. So we're making the square. I can see someone else has joined. Lovely. And then again, getting rid of this rectangle. So turning it over and bringing it back. If you've got any special requests or any thoughts or things you want to make in future, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see what I come up with each week. Where I can, traditional folds. Sometimes if it's sort of seasonal, thinking of other things and doing my best to find out who's come up with these folds as well. Because it's very kind of people to share their inventions and their discoveries. Whoops. Getting rid of that. Not so perfect. Never mind. That's all right. I'll try and get rid of that. So, as I was saying, if you're using coloured paper, keep it this way around. And actually, you might as well fold them as they're already like this. Okay. So, our next step is to open it up and fold it in half to make a rectangle. Doesn't really matter which way this diagonal is. It will actually be useful, so it's all right. So just simply fold it in half. There we go. And then I would recommend doing two at once. I think actually with modular origami, I really like there's always that repetition and it becomes more and more soothing as you sort of know what to do. Open it up and fold it over. So far my biggest modular piece has been one of the wonderful Bashetta stars. Unfortunately, it's in a library at the moment. I can't easily go and get it, but it's 270 pieces. And I really enjoyed doing a sort of a little conveyor belt of making. I do it in batches. Work well. So it looks something like that. Your next step is take the outside and fold it into the middle. Like just making a pair of curtains. That's what I always think of for this step. So that they touch together. And again, feel free to send messages. It's okay, all your colour should be on the outside. I think. Penny, hello. Oh yeah, so Penny, it's up to you. You can use white or you can use colours. So if it's white, the great thing is you can make it white and then colour in the pieces. Or if you have two different colours, you get something like this. So it's actually just two pieces of paper. So it's up to you, Penny. All we've done so far, in effect, is make two squares and then folding them in half horizontally, so like that, then opening it up and bringing them so they meet in the middle like a pair of curtains. So, and I'm just doing 2 at once because it's a good idea to be doing them both together. Right, next one. Let me know, Penny, if I need to explain that further. So half, and then bring it to the middle. Lovely. And then the same the other way. So yeah, Penny, I've rather enjoyed doing them in white and then decorating them. And I'm thinking about stringing all of mine up. I think they'd look very cool strung up. So they should meet like that. So your next step is just to fold it in half. So don't worry about that diagonal line, just ignore it really. All it is folded over there. So again, we've got them so they're meeting in the middle, and then just naturally close it up like a little book. That's it. Right, now we need to make sure that we do everything sort of in mirror image. So it's important that they're both the same way up. Can you see? They're the same, pointing the same direction. So your next step is to simply fold them in half. So it's lengthwise, folding it in half. There we go. Oh, and some very exciting news. As part of Origami Pulse, so I work with 2 other origamists in the Merseyside. We have put in for another grant to the lottery, and we got it, which is amazing news. I was really keen that we don't give up what we're doing. We've been running lots of workshops in our communities. I've been doing lots in my hospital here in Oxford, which is where I live, and also people with mental health problems, people are homeless, all sorts of people we feel could benefit. And absolutely thrilled that they're offering their support. We're going to be working with an amazing designer who I've worked with before, who is already getting very inspired by the origami. So he'll create a beautiful leaflet that we'll be able to give thousands of to staff and patients in hospital. And I can also run up to 30 sort of Zoom sessions as well for groups. So if you know of any sort of groups who'd be maybe more vulnerable people who could really benefit with the session to get them into it, then do feel free to get in touch. Right, so hopefully you've folded them in half. The next step is to take the top and fold it in a straight line there. So folding it there. So I tend to work in terms of thinking of patterns. So we sort of made a little space there. So you also need to make a little space here so that they're mirror image. So here I'm going to therefore bring the top and bring it up to there. It's quite interesting getting used to making origami upside down and sort of back to front. I'm sort of watching my hands in the computer. Seems to work though. It's amazing how adaptable our brain is. That's it. So this forms a space up here. Now for the bottom, you want to go the other way. So here, I want to take the corner and fold it up. So the space is on the outside. So I'm doing the opposite to what was at the top. Is that making sense? Do shout if I'm going too fast or slowly or need to explain it more. Those messages do get through to me. There we go. I think there's always a little time lag, but hopefully I get there. And again, so it matches, so creating a space on the outside. So folding it there. It's a really nice, tough little structure as well, this. And as I said, they do throw quite well. Careful who you're aiming it at. That's it. I also thought actually it's rather nice. A ninja is a rather, I tend to think of quite cool. So throwing a ninja star and also wearing a mask, you could be very, that could be very cool. As a positive figure, sort of, for wearing a mask. So hopefully it looks like that. Your next step now is to think about making a triangle. So we take the top, and we want to fold it over to line up with this middle line. So we're bringing it up and over lined up along that middle line. So you make a triangle at the top. If it's making another odd shape, it's not the right way around. So that's how I remember it. And on the back, it should hopefully fairly neatly, at this point I'm having to look at it, I'm afraid, but it should fairly neatly line up. Do you see? So it was like this, and I folded it down so it tucks there. And it's the same. Oh, can it be the same colour or different? Oh, it's up to you. Yeah, it's up to you. If you use two different colours, then it will form one like that. So they will end up the opposite ends. But if you use plain, as I've said, I've rather enjoyed the plain because you can colour it, make really cool things with it. So it does work. That's it. So we're going to do the same thing at the other end. So taking the top and bringing it up. Again, your aim is to make a triangle, and actually that diagonal line there from earlier has come into play there. So that's quite easy for me there. There we go. So it should look like this shape, which is already an interesting shape. It's like a square that's skidded sideways, isn't it? Come apart, but it's like that. So we're going to do the same thing on the other one. Interesting shape there, isn't it? So again, we want to make it a triangle. So take the top, and if you can't quite think about it, don't worry. I'd just try it out, and if it folds down to make a triangle, that's the right shape. Just making another shape. No, you need to go the other direction. Can you see my diagonal line there helped actually? So maybe it might be making diagonal lines first actually. Always learning something with origami and how one thing affects another. So we're going to do the same thing. So bringing that again to make another triangular shape. Right, we're quite close. We're getting there. So hopefully you've got two ones like this. They're quite thick. It's quite thick paper. But that means that it's all really tough and no glue involved, no scissors. It's rather good. So how to get these things together? So I would suggest having it so that you can see a smooth side there. It's kind of the opposite way around for the other. So with this gap in the middle. So can you see this one is smooth? And I'm putting the other over the opposite direction with this gap in the middle. And that's because I'm going to tuck one thing into another. It may feel a bit of a like, whoa, what's going on at this moment? But hopefully you will get a hang of it. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take the top corner and fold it down, and it's going to tuck underneath the middle. It's slightly mind-boggling, isn't it? So bringing that down. So it's very thick, particularly for paper. But that makes it a very robust thing to throw as well. And it feels rather nice too. So, well, definitely losing it upside down. What am I doing? Sorry. There we go. You can see I've made just one little arm of it. So while we're on this side, we might as well do the other end. And can you see there's a line there already? So what your aim is to close it and tuck it in. So there's a kind of a gap. It's really hard to show this, I'm sorry. I hope it's making some kind of sense, but to try to tuck it in that gap. And you often have to sort of shuffle it around until it fits. It tends to be quite a tight fit. So we have to face it to me, I'm afraid, to see what I'm doing. Is it working for you? You're probably also feeling a bit like fingers and thumbs with this. Something like that. It's two pieces of the star, can you see? Now, if you turn it to the back, you've again got this gap in the middle. So we're making this into a point, and to do that, you fold it over. and then you need to tuck it in. And as I said, it's all very kind of tight folds and very thick, sharp, but that's also what's rather lovely about it. So here I then need to tuck it into this gap, so you might need to lift it up. Again, sorry, it's a bit hard for me to show you. I'm also having to peer in and see what I'm doing. Can you see I've managed to slip that in? So we've just got one more side to go. Be very patient with yourself. I've also recorded a film as well, but it's one of those things of persisting, knowing you will get there, and it does require your head to get around this a little bit. It's quite an interesting piece, and again, taking it this corner and folding it down, and then you need to tuck it into the gap there. I think on the pre-recorded video I've also sent a link, so it's origami instructions that I learnt this one, and there's some sort of still photos, which is another way you can learn quite well. So I'm going to have to then try to get it under that gap, and hopefully then you should have made a ninja star. I know it's a little bit of getting your head around, isn't it, how it all fits together, and a lot of fiddling around, but you will get the hang of it. So actually, if I'd left that open, I could have put in a piece of string there as well, or later on you can thread that through. Wow, it's so sort of tough. I love it. It's such a physical piece, this one, and you sort of have to shift around the pieces till they all fit. There we go. Not bad. Quite fun to throw. Do you think I should throw it? There we go. So, I do recommend adding some colour to these because they're such a nice structure. I've quite enjoyed just doing very simple lines. It already gives the sort of twists and turns of it. Go. I saw on BBC4 that they've been having kind of film throwing video, please. Okay, so I'm going to have to throw this at the end. Okay, that's a special request. I will do it. God, goodness knows whether this will work, but I will give it a go. Yeah. And they're showing I think a film, maybe it's in the 70s, I'm not sure, about just painting. So just showing someone painting, and it is incredibly relaxing actually, just watching someone do something quite slowly and things appearing. Done it! Oh, well done. Probably should have used thinner paper. Yeah, maybe, but you know what? I rather like that it's tough. It is quite hard, isn't it, to get these things tucked together. I agree, it's not an easy one. That's also what makes it rather lovely. It looks good, doesn't it? Coloured. Shall I give it a go at chucking? I'm going to have to turn it round. Here we go. Actually, I could try out a few. Why not? The good thing is with this paper, it's so tough that you feel you have a good few goes. Right. Here we go. Back again. Turn around. Last time I did this, I was throwing planes. It seemed to work. Right. Let's see what happens. Maybe don't know what height. Here we go. knock out the computer. Oh, did you see it? Yeah, they really do. That was a good demonstration, wasn't it? Excellent. Hello. Excellent. I hope you found that entertaining. I thoroughly recommend hurling them around, let off a bit of steam. I've certainly felt like I've needed that this week. And decorate them, hang them up, throw them around, have a bit of fun. It's needed, isn't it? So I will be excellent. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yay, awesome. And I wish you very well. Keep safe, keep up your distancing. I know it's hard, but it's really important. We're supporting everybody. Yes, we're all doing well here as well. Thank you. It's really nice to have this connection, and doing something special. So I will keep up the folding. I'll have a think for next week. Again, if you have any special requests, feel free to air them. I haven't quite gone for many modular pieces because I just think it will take quite a bit of time. But you know, anything goes. We've got time now, haven't we? So yeah, I quite enjoy these circular structures, but this I think has been a nice little taste. It's nice, isn't it, coloured in? So maybe experiment with your colouring in. Maybe doodle on them. This could be a good combination of doodling and origami. Yeah. So wishing all the very best and see you next week. Take care, happy folding, and keep well, keep up distancing, keep up your mood as best you can. Bit of variety. This has been a good workout for the mind, so take care. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you.